Hello, I'm James, WA7JNJ, here at St. Edward State Park. It's a little bit rainy today with a high of 42 or so trying to figure the best spot to set up. Doing a park on the air activation, and it's during the ARRL 10-meter contest. I don't have a 10-meter antenna, and so I took one of the speaker wire antennas that I have and cut that down to 10-meter, and it looked pretty close, at least for now, so it should work. Got that set up in the tree. Used my little clips that I got recently from Amazon, so excited at that, and just tied those on the ends. At the top, I'm just strapping it to the mast with a clip, and I've got a zip tie up there that's holding it up there as well. So the bands look good, low noise, and I'm getting a bunch of signals here on 10 meters, so I'm going to try and activate the park on 10 meter and just enjoy the day here. Hopefully the weather holds out and doesn't rain anymore, but I'll try and stay out here on the bench as long as I can, and if not, I'll jump in the SUV. So let's try and make some contacts.
CQ contest, KB9AZZ.
Whiskey Alpha 7, Juliet, November, Juliet.
Whiskey Alpha 7, Juliet again, please.
Whiskey Alpha 7, Juliet, November, Juliet.
I thought you said that, but I was like, my ears were deceiving me. WA7JNJ, 59 Wisconsin.
QSL, you're 59 Whiskey Alpha.
Thanks for Washington, 73, have fun.
Whiskey Alpha 7, Juliet, November, Juliet.
Whiskey Alpha 7, Juliet, November, Juliet, 59 Tennessee.
QSL, you're 59 Whiskey Alpha, Washington.
QSL, thanks, Kilo Zero, Echo, Japan. CQ contest, Alpha 0, Alpha Whiskey.
Whiskey Alpha 7, Juliet, November, Juliet.
Whiskey Alpha 7, Juliet, November, Juliet, 59 in Minnesota.
QSL, you're 59 Whiskey Alpha, Washington.
Thanks for the state of Washington, and good luck, QRZ. CQ contest, Whiskey Bravo 0, Yankee Echo.
Whiskey Alpha 7, Juliet, November, Juliet.
Whiskey Alpha 7, Juliet, November, Juliet, 59 November Echo.
QSL, you're 59 Whiskey Alpha.
Thanks for Whiskey Alpha, good luck. Thank you, Zulu Fox 5 Tango.
Whiskey Alpha 7, Juliet, November, Juliet.
Whiskey Alpha 7.
Whiskey Alpha 7, Juliet, November, Juliet.
Juliet, November, Juliet, 592869.
QSL, Washington, Whiskey Alpha, you're 59.
Whiskey Alpha?
Yeah, Whiskey Alpha 7, Juliet, November, Juliet, you're 59 in Whiskey Alpha.
Roger, thanks. Zulu Fox 5 Tango. Whiskey 8 Golf Papa, contest.
Whiskey Alpha 7, Juliet, November, Juliet.
Whiskey Alpha 7, Juliet, November, Juliet, 59 Michigan.
QSL, you're 59 Whiskey Alpha.
Thank you, QRZ. CQ contest, Kilo Uniform 9 Radio.
Whiskey Alpha 7, Juliet, November, Juliet.
Whiskey Alpha 7, Juliet, November, Juliet, 59 Indiana.
QSL, you're 59 Whiskey Alpha.
Thanks, Kilo Uniform 9 Radio. Whiskey Victor 4, Pop.
Whiskey Alpha 7, Juliet, November, Juliet.
Whiskey Alpha 7, Juliet, November, Juliet, 59 Tennessee.
QSL, you're 59 Whiskey Alpha.
Thanks, Whiskey Victor 4, Pop. Yours, Kilo Delta 5, Juliet.
Whiskey Alpha 7, Juliet, November, Juliet.
WA7JNJ. You're 59 Arkansas.
QSL, you're 59 Whiskey Alpha, Washington.
Whiskey Alpha, thank you, George. CQ contest, Papa 5, Zulu, America, CP5, Zulu, America, contest.
Whiskey Alpha 7, Juliet, November, Juliet.
Whiskey 7, November, Juliet.
Whiskey Alpha 7, Japan, Norway, Japan.
Japan, November, Japan. November, Whiskey 7, Japan, November, Japan. You are 59405.
QSL, you are 59 in Whiskey Alpha, Washington, and it was Whiskey Alpha 7. Whiskey Alpha 7, Japan, Norway, Japan.
Roger, Alpha 7, Japan, November, Japan. Washington, thank you, good luck. QSL, Papa 5.
Brazil.
America. North Carolina, QSL 6, Tango, India 1 Kilo, contest.
Whiskey Alpha 7, Juliet, November, Juliet.
Whiskey Alpha 7, Juliet, November, Juliet. You're 59 at 2754.
QSL, you're 59, Whiskey Alpha, Washington.
Whiskey Alpha, QSL.
QSL, Washington State, 7-3.
Thanks, Tango, India, 1 kilo, contest.
Costa Rica. Whiskey Alpha 7, Juliet, November, Juliet.
Whiskey Alpha 7, Juliet, November, Juliet. Between here, 59 for you. My state is November, Lima, 64, Bravo, Alpha, Bravo.
I copy the November Lima Echo. You are 5-9 in Whiskey Alpha, Whiskey Alpha.
QRZ, Kilo Echo 0, India, Zulu Echo.
Whiskey Alpha 7, Juliet, November, Juliet.
Okay, was that Whiskey Alpha 7, Juliet, November, Juliet?
QSL, you're 5-9, Whiskey Alpha.
Thanks for the 5-9. Washington, you're 5-9, Iowa.
7-3.
7-3. Oscar Romeo, thanks. Whiskey Uniform 2 X-ray.
Whiskey Alpha 7, Juliet, November, Juliet.
Whiskey Alpha 7, Juliet something, go ahead.
Juliet, November, Juliet. Juliet, November, Juliet.
Is it Whiskey Alpha 7, Juliet, November, Juliet?
QSL, QSL, you are 5-9, Whiskey Alpha, Washington.
Whiskey Alpha, thanks. Whiskey United 2 X-ray. QRZ, Kilo Lima 7, Sierra Bravo.
Whiskey Alpha 7, Juliet, November, Juliet.
Whiskey Alpha 7, Juliet, November, Juliet, 5-9 Alaska.
QSL, 5-9, Whiskey Alpha.
Thank you.
AM.
162, Victoria, Japan, 2 Japan. Victoria, Japan, 2 Japan.
Whiskey Alpha 7, Juliet, November, Juliet.
Get it.
Whiskey Alpha 7, Juliet, November, Juliet.
Whiskey Alpha 7, Juliet, November, again.
Whiskey Alpha 7, Juliet, November, Juliet.
Just missing the last one. Whiskey Alpha 7, Juliet, November, something.
Japan, Japan, Norway, Japan.
1-9.
I'm in Whiskey Alpha, your number.
I get number 619, 619, 619.
QSL 619, and I'm in Whiskey Alpha, Washington.
Russia, thanks for Washington. Your call sign. Whiskey Alpha 7, Japan, November, 20.
Japan, Japan, November, Japan.
Roger, Japan, November, Japan. Thank you.
Australia. That's awesome.
CQ Contest, Lima Sierra, Q Delta, Lima Sierra, Q Delta.
Whiskey Alpha 7, Juliet, November, Juliet.
Whiskey Alpha 7, Juliet, November, Juliet, 59, 1284.
QSL, you're 5-9, Whiskey Alpha, Washington.
Okay, Washington, thank you. QRZ, Lima Sierra, Q Delta Contest.
Holy cow.
Lima Sierra, Q Delta this is Japan, America 9, Papa, Charlie, contact.
Whiskey Alpha 7, Juliet, November, Juliet.
7 Juliet, November, Juliet, 59195.
QSL, you're 5-9, Whiskey Alpha, Washington.
Washington, QSL, thank you.
Japan.
Thank you. Lima Papa 1 Hotel.
Whiskey Alpha 7, Juliet, November, Juliet.
Juliet, November, Juliet.
Whiskey Alpha 7, Juliet, November, Juliet.
Whiskey Alpha 7, Japan, November, Japan. You 5933253.
QSL, you're 5-9, Whiskey Alpha.
Thank you, QRZ.
Been here about 3 hours and just wrapping up and getting ready to head home. Made about 50 contacts all over the world, all on 10 meters, and just a blast today. Argentina, Brazil, Mexico, Costa Rica, Cayman Islands, Japan, Australia, Alaska, all kinds of great places, and just fun. I haven't played a lot on 10 meter, and the speaker wire dipole did pretty well today. So no excuse not to get outside when you can just throw up a wire and have some fun. So thanks again for watching. 73 from WA7 J&J.